This is basically a web application where professors or teachers can quickly check on the status of their student submissions. Right now, I'm at the login page. I will firstly log in as a professor. For the application, basically any super user is considered a professor and any normal user will be a student. All right, this is the main page of the application. Here I can see all the different classes that I have registered on this application. If I click on any of them, I will be taken to another page where I can see all the progress for all of my students. All right, I can quickly check which task they already submitted and which not. If I click on the student name, I will be taken to the GitHub branch where the submissions live for this specific student. For example, if I check on the history of commits, I can see that this student already submitted task 2 and task 1, and this corresponds with what I can see here. Now, let's suppose that I have a huge list of students and I want to find a specific one. For that, I have this search bar up here. I can start typing the name of a student and it will be dynamically filtered. All right, this is all done by JavaScript on the front end, so there's no need to reload the page. Right, I can keep typing and I will see how this automatically is filtered. All right, this also works for the classes page. If I want to find a specific class, I can just type the name and it will get filtered. Now, I can also see this tag besides the class name showing me that I have submissions pending for review. So if I click on that, I will be taken to the pull request page where I can see that right now I have an open pull request, basically a student that is waiting for his or her submission to be reviewed. Okay, I explain further the strategy on how do I get all this data in the README file. All right, now all the data about my students and their submissions lives on GitHub, all right? So how do I get it? Basically, I'm hitting the GitHub API, but I'm not doing it every time that you load the page or something like that. I just took all the data and save it into the Django models. When do I get the data? Well, whenever I decided by clicking on this button right now. If I click on sync, it will go to the GitHub API, download all the commits, all the branches for the specific repositories, and it will save them into different Django models. All right. After that, the web application only takes care about that data in their models. Now, there are two things that I have to configure in the application as a professor, and basically is the name of my classes and the name of the submissions that I want to track. This is done via this button. I will be taken to the admin page, and here I have two different models in order to interact with. The repos one is the one where I configure the classes. Basically, I can add a repo name and a repo owner and a token if it's private, and it will be considered as another class. And in the commits model, I basically store all the different submissions that I want to track of. Submissions, it's equal to say commit name. Basically, any other commit will not be taken into consideration for the web application. All right, and let me show you how does the application look like for a student. So I will log out and log in as a student. And you can see that this is basically the same application, but I don't have some features. For example, I don't have the access to the admin page. I cannot click on the synchronization button. I only see my classes and not everyone. And I don't have access to see how how many pending submissions there are. And if I click on the class, I will only see my branch and not everyone's. All right.